Hey, this is Ed Logan from Process to Pure Food Movement. Hey, I've really been thinking about looking at some foundational things just about food. There's always questions about food. There are people who say that we should go by the dietary law. There are also people who say we should not go by the dietary law. Everything has been made clean. But the Bible is really not about confusion. And I believe that we can find the correct answer regarding food. So I wanted to come to you all and ask you what you all thought about maybe doing a study on that. If we're going to be eating pure food according to the scripture, then maybe we should do a little studying about what food is according to the Bible, both according to the Father and according to the Son. Does the Son say anything about food? And also maybe even go and look at a little history about food, and also look at a little history about what the church fathers thought as well. So I just thought it'd be something that we could really study out, and maybe it'll help us to have a more complete, a better understanding about food. We could look at it from, the King James Version, also more Hebraic roots type scriptures, and also from an Aramaic. I have an Aramaic New Testament as well that we can look at some things for. And let's just really see, you have to really be careful, because the Bible is an Eastern book. But sometimes we can translate an Eastern book and we can translate it into a Western thought, when that may not actually be the intended thought of the way that culture really was. So I just thought maybe it'd be good if we could look at some historical information and we could just read through the scripture and see exactly what the scripture is actually saying as well. All right. So, hey, if you all are interested in that, please comment below and let me know that you'd be up for it. I don't know, maybe we can do a live on it. We could meet at a certain time and do a live and discuss the scripture, and you can put some scripture out there as well. Or if not, I could just present all of the scriptures and some historical fact information, and then we can talk about what pure food really is according to the scripture, not according to man, but according to the scripture. And so, like, one of the reasons why I was thinking about this is because the Bible tells us that the Most High, He doesn't change. So, you have to ask questions like, well, why does He say this in this book, and then over here it changes? But He's a Father that does not change. So, we have to ask these kind of questions. We have to look at what the scripture and the Bible verses are actually saying in its proper context. The most important thing is we want to make sure that we are obedient to our Father. It doesn't matter. I used to tell people this all the time. It doesn't matter what pastor says. It doesn't matter what the deacon says. It doesn't matter what anybody else says. What matters is, what does the word say? Okay, that's really what's most important. And man's doctrine really doesn't matter. What I believe really doesn't matter. But what the word actually says and what the word is actually teaching, that's really the main thing that we really need to be focused on. Because the Bible is not about confusion. The Bible is about truth. Anytime you see something that is confusing in the Bible, it's going to have to do with a translation. It has to do with man. All right? So the Most High's word is true. It's awesome. His word is what we have to have as a guide to get to where we're going. And for those of you who are trying to eat properly, like me, one day I want to sit at the King's table, and I want to eat everything that the King has for me. And so right now, I want to begin to practice that now. So, and enjoy the food that He's created for me, because that's going to be the food that's going to be there at the King's table. And if I know that He says it here, and I know that when we get there, He's showing it and says it there, then everything in between here, I want to do it the exact same way that he's got from the beginning all the way to the end. And I really think that that's the way that all of our hearts should really be. So again, if you would like to join in, or if you would like for me to do a study on that, you don't have to join in, but if you'd like to see a study done on food and what type of foods we should be eating and what does the Father say we should not be eating. And I know that they say that Jesus talks about food. Well, what does he say in regards to it? Okay, so we'll go from there. All right. Hey, again, put in the comments below. Give me a thumbs up and a like. Let me know that you're good with this, and we'll proceed and we'll go through this study. All right. We got to get it right before him. All right. Bye-bye.